and welcome to This is Private Practice for Friday, the 22nd of September 2017. And it's just almost going to tick over to 5 p.m. And I wanted to follow on from my conversation yesterday. I'm still not feeling 100%. Still a bit irritated by why I'm not feeling great. But I will admit I am doing better than I was doing yesterday. It's become really clear to me that I need to interrupt this cycle of busyness that's going on in my head. The chattering monkeys aren't just chattering, they're all screaming at me. And I didn't sleep very well and I don't feel rested. And it's like everything is urgent and important. So if you know anything about Stephen Covey and his 4 quadrants, it just feels like everything is urgent and important. And I have this incredibly unrealistic expectation of time, an incredibly unrealistic expectation of the people around me. And it just feels like there is so much going on, so many moving parts, so many opportunities, so many things that just need to be finished. But I did finish a couple of things today, and geez, that felt freaking good. They weren't huge things, but they felt good that they were done from beginning to end. So there's a clue for me right now. And the other thing I did today is I really interrupted myself this morning. I took myself off to a yoga class. I know it's Friday and I went to yoga. And it was a battle to go. It really was a battle because everything in me was like I could use, because you have to drive to your yoga class. It takes me half an hour. Then I do it. That's 90 minutes. And then I like to go and have a coffee afterwards. And then there's a drive home. So essentially, I wasn't back in my office until nearly midday today. So I was like, oh my gosh, all this time being wasted when there's so much to do. And I thought, no, I really need to interrupt this. And because my energy is really low and my psychology isn't great and my emotions, oh my goodness, my emotions, yeah, feeling a tad emotional. What would I recommend for clients talking to me about this stuff? And I would recommend very strong behavioral cues to interrupt all of this stuff that's going on in our heads. So I thought I better do what I tell others to do. And surprise, surprise, after yoga and a cup of coffee, I felt much better. I was talking to my sister and I reckon I went from a 4 out of 10 to about a 6 out of 10. Yesterday I reckon I was at a 2. Not feeling good, really not feeling good. So I've made some inroads today. It took me about half an hour of 2 phone calls for the escalation to start again, but I was able to apprehend it and I was able to go, right, what is the thing that needs to be done now, and let's get that done. I also had an extremely productive meeting with the amazing Sophie today, and prioritizing and planning and making sure that the gaps where my need to know that everything is in control and that everything's been taken care of, where those things can sometimes stir up for me, she was able to fill those gaps today. And so I can go into next week knowing that the operations in my business is taken care of and that I'm taken care of, which is really good because it's the end of the month. Sophie's having 2 days off and I'm traveling interstate. So if I'm not looking after my wellness and my capacity right now, then I am going to become sick because that is just what happens to me. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you is before 8 o'clock this morning, I had some really remarkable things happen. And I was talking yesterday about how is it that we just keep going? How is it that when we're having rough days or rough weeks or rough months or just days feel awful, and sometimes the numbers of bad days really outweigh the number of good days. How do we keep going? Why do we keep going? What is it that makes us keep going? It's because the good days are so freaking good. The days when we're in flow, the days when we know we are doing the thing we are called to do, they feel so good. And I think we live for that. I think that's a really big, really strong motivator for why we keep doing what we're doing. So last night, a gorgeous girl who watched this video yesterday, or watched yesterday's video, sent me a text message. Now, she's been in my life for a long time and she's really important to me. She's a truth teller, and sometimes I don't enjoy being told the truth. And I felt yesterday that I had let her down big time. But she sent me the most encouraging, inspiring text message, and I got a bit weepy about it. But I took it and I said, thank you. And I read it, and I've written it straight into my book of evidence, because it's important for me to know that what I do matters, and it matters to other people. And even though my emotions are telling me this doesn't feel good right now, what I do matters, and what I do matters to other people. So that was a pretty remarkable thing to have happen. Then this morning, really early, like 7:30, let me go find it. There was the son of a client, and yes, all permission to talk to the son, that's all okay. And he sent me a message, and he thanked me for the work I'm personally doing with his mum. And the other really encouraging thing that he said was that he had no idea that rehabilitation agencies like us could do the work that we do the way we do it, and treat his mum with such respect and dignity. And he went on to tell me that she has become incredibly hopeful and incredibly engaged in wanting to know what else she can do outside of her family unit, because she's become so dependent on her son, because her function's not great and nobody's talked to her about her function not being great. So I'm like, what I do matters, and it matters to people broadly. And the other great thing about that is that he actually works in this industry and can become a referral partner for us. And he's like, I had no idea that rehab could be done the way that you do rehab. So I'm like, yes, everything that we stand for and everything that makes us go against the tide, and you know, it just made me go, yeah, this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. So again, regardless of how I'm feeling today and regardless of what my emotions are like, there's another piece of evidence that tells me that what we do matters. And then if you see the comment that was left on yesterday's video, you'll know that the wonderful Paul from California has been on the video and thanked me for being so transparent and also sharing his challenges with coming back to work following holiday, and how tough that's been. So I really want to have a massive shout out to those three people. I don't want to name them because they might not be comfortable with that. But I want to let you know from the bottom of my heart, I cannot tell you how grateful I am for your messages and for how you've encouraged and inspired me. And for health professionals or any service professional that's watching this video today, if you are feeling low and flat, if you're feeling like you don't make a difference, that there's no way out of a messy situation, please keep going, because the work we do matters. We're not just needed. If we're health professionals, we're not just needed, we're actually really necessary. People can't do what we do, and they need us to be healthy, and they need us to be vital, and they need us to be prepared to go and serve them. So I want to encourage you that this journey isn't easy, but nobody signed up for easy, and it's worthwhile, and you matter, and what you do matters. I'm going to leave it there because I'm getting really teary and I don't think I want to be crying on a video. So here's to Friday. Here's to yoga on a Friday. I look forward to having a wonderful weekend. I will probably do some work more about helping me feel calm rather than feeling like I've got all this stuff I need to get done. And I'm looking forward to next week being better and for changing more lives and inspiring more people. And I get to hang out with my Purple Co team next Tuesday, so that's always good. Bye. Enjoy your weekend.